Hello and welcome to the MrMaple Show. I'm Brian. This is my homie Corbin. Today we got an amazing lineup of trees for you. Welcome to the 10 at 10 for 1/8/2026. Whoa,
oh yeah,
2026? Man, it's crazy. We're already into this new year, rolling quickly through the weeks in this new year already. We got an amazing lineup for you guys.
and today we got 10 of my favorite Japanese maples. It's crazy. I don't know how every single 10 at 10 we get my favorite trees out here.
Oh man, it's like, how do you pull this off, bro? Every week, man, 2 times a week, you pull up this amazing list, 10 of your favorite plants. We get to talk about them.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I mean, and I think, you know, a lot of us, it's the winter time, bro. Sometimes that's a little scary, bro. You know, in Cherokee culture, bro, I get a little historical, bro. To gain, you know, power over the things you fear, bro, you got to, like, make fun of them and, like, put them around, maybe around in the garden. So that's why we got Acer Pseudosubuldianum X Ice Monster.
The Ice Monster. This is a really cool tree for you guys here. We have that Pseudosubuldianum, that hybrid. So you're going to get into those zone 4 locations, that cold country up north. Definitely a really cool tree for those northern landscapes. I love the fact that we're bringing ornamental plants further and further north. This has got a great spring and summer, that bold green spring and summer, and then some beautiful fall colors. Really dark, rich reds on this one.
Hey, people be sleeping out there, man. You know, maybe they're hibernating from those winter months, but they be sleeping on the fall color of the Pseudosubuldianums, man. This one gives you some really nice, rich burgundies up to kind of a picked up flame kind of red.
Yeah.
I really like that. I think like things like Hasselkuss and even the regular species of Pseudosubuldianum have some of the best fall colors. Ice Monster is joining them in that kind of rank right there.
Yeah.
This one's really cool, especially for its hybridization that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, this is a vigorous grower. You can expect about a foot of growth a year on this. It's going to be a nice, well-structured tree. I always notice that those Pseudosubuldianums have a great kind of multi-trunk type system to them usually. I kind of expect that same growth habit out of this. But nice, good, strong grower for your garden, so you're not going to have to wait too long for it to get going out there. And we got some great size 1 gallons on these as well. So definitely a newer cultivar that's not out there. I think this is only the 2nd time that we've released this here at MrMaple. So we're excited to get this back out there for you guys. A new one for those collectors out there. Grab you an Ice Monster. All right, guys, next up on the list, I love this one, man. You know what I love about the winter time? Is those crisp, cool nights. The sky is like as clear as it ever can be, and those stars just light up, right? So maybe you need to add a little Acer palmatum Starry Skies to the garden.
Yeah, man, maybe you're afraid of the dark, bro. So you get your little Starry Skies in that garden. But man, you're going to be wanting to stand out there all day looking at this thing because it is in the Alpenweiss lineage. Alpenweiss, you know. It's got that beautiful Higaseyama style variegation. But man, this one's almost turning out to 11, man.
Yeah, I mean, this one gets pretty wild. I love that style of variegation. We always kind of refer back to Higaseyama because that's kind of that OG style of variegation. This one brings it to the next level. Those pinks and whites and greens mixed in. You can see that kind of intricate veining system throughout the leaf. The multicolor on that is just really, really wild. I think for a spring interest maple, I think this one is really exciting because there's a lot of them out there that are just like a one color or maybe a gradient of color. But this one gives you like multicolor effects all throughout the plant. I really like that about it.
Yeah, I love how, you know, you have all these ones from that Higaseyama style variegation where you got, you know, your Alpenweiss, Eye Candy, and then you got this beautiful, beautiful Starry Skies. That's kind of, you know, most of those dial in on one color, you know, but this one just kind of does have them all.
Yeah.
That, you know, those beautiful whites, the pinks, the greens, all going in on this tree. It was one of the first top 5, you know, hype maples around Buckholz that we put on there. So this one definitely has a lot of hype on it. I know that we've been beefing up the numbers on this one, and you know, It's because there's a lot of demand out there.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
you're not going to want to miss out on this beautiful dwarf variegated selection.
Starry Skies.
All right.
All right. What do we got next?
Man, this tree, you know, it's not named after an award ceremony or anything, but it takes home the cake. We got Acer Platinoides Golden Globe.
Yeah, I mean, we set the gold standard here at Mr. Maple. This is an amazing tree, guys. I mean, if you're needing something that is one of the brightest shades of yellow out there, this is a really cool cultivar, man. You get the huge Acer Platinoides leaf, so you get that big Norway style leaf, and that big canvas just lights up with that bright yellow in the spring. Giving this a little bit more sun, you have to kind of find that balance between too much sun and just enough, but you can really pick up the colors on this. You can almost get these bleached out white colors in the summer. And then guess what? Yellow on yellow on yellow. The fall color on this plant is also yellow. So you're going to have some crazy yellow colors all through the seasons, really lighten up your garden. I love that about it.
Yeah, man, this is a yellow fellow, bro, as we say, man.
Fellow.
If you're just getting into maples, man, and you start off with that first red, this right here is going to look pretty dang good next to that red. Because guess what? That thing's going to stay red all year and get picked up during the fall time. This thing's going to stay yellow all year. And you get that high contrast, that high dynamic impact in the garden. That's going to make your neighbors jealous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, man, a Rhode Island red planted next to this, bro. Kind of similar habits. Great fall colors. So you get the reds and the yellows together. And texture differences too. So, I mean, so many cool ways to use this. It's a dwarf, considered a dwarf when you get into platinoides. You're looking at like 4 to 5 feet in 10 years. So not a huge growing tree like you'd normally get with the Norway maples, but really cool foliage on this. I love it. It's got some nice fine points too, little serrations on those leaves too. So there's great texture, great color. Good grower for the garden. I love a good dwarf because I'm working in a small space, so I need those smaller trees. Definitely one you want to add to your landscape. All right, guys, the next one up here on the table. This is a cool plant, man. This is one I think you guys should be getting excited about. We have Acer palmatum Sherwood Elfin.
Man, I sure would like this tree, man. This is a beautiful dwarf weeping variety.
It is.
With some elongated lobes. That's going to give you some nice brick reds as it kind of continues to gain its color throughout the summer. Beautiful, beautiful tree.
Yeah, what I like about this is you're going to get that classic kind of red lace leaf look, but in a super dwarf. This thing is really, really slow growing. We're talking like 4 to 5 feet tall in like 20 years. So, I mean, it takes forever for this thing to get good size. But that allows you to put it in so many different places in your garden. It's going to create a beautiful structure of like this weeping, cascading style to it. I have one in my garden as well, and this does great in the high heat situation. So you can put this out in full sun. This was one that was found down in Alabama. So it's been growing very well in those high heat locations like Alabama. So definitely you could push that sun limit on this one as well.
Yeah, man, I think this would go like good in like a railroad garden or something like that, man. You know, while I was thinking about those railroad gardens, I was thinking sometimes, you know, you get trees, like smaller trees that make things look like bigger.
That's right.
Hey, what if you did like a Godzilla garden, man, you know? Where, you know, you have some fake buildings planted around, some really tiny trees, but then you get to like stomp around the city and like act like you're kind of wreaking havoc on the city. I think that would be a nice kind of power trip reset. And I think this would go great in that Godzilla garden, don't you, man?
Absolutely, I think so. So pick you up a dwarf red lace leaf Sherwood Elfin today.
Guys, we're talking about yellow trees earlier.
Yeah.
You know, we had more of a globe shape on that one. Now let's bring that falls, bro, that Cascade. We got Acer palmatum yellow Cascade.
I love this cultivar, man. I'm such a fan of the Rikuzen style, the weeping style Japanese maples, especially, you know, when you get into Rikuzen style, we say that because it is a weeping habit, but it still has that same palmatum leaf. not the lace leaf that you would typically get with a weeping style. But this one right here gives you that Ryusen style with a golden yellow leaf to it, really bright, buttery tones on that. Nice little like pinkish red blushing too in the spring when it first comes out over top of that yellow. Definitely one you kind of want to protect a little bit because it's so bright. You want to protect it a little bit from the afternoon sun, but really interesting form and habit on this.
Yeah, man, I think it's so cool. This is a Buckholz introduction. Obviously, he's got golden falls going on. Yellow Cascade is, you know, they're in the same kind of realm. I think they were sister seedlings. I got to stand in between, you know, the two originals back when I very first went to Buckholz. And that was pretty awesome, honestly. Seeing them the two close together really does kind of show their differences. Obviously, the springtime, it's a lot easier to tell their differences.
Yeah.
But I really just love that the butter yellow that this one provides, it really just does contrast with so many different colors in the garden. I know we were talking about that red contrast. Dude, throw some pink next to this. Whenever I was in Japan, the cherry trees are always kind of complemented by a yellow kind of flower or a yellow plant nearby.
Absolutely.
And they really just kind of have this soft play between each other. Another thing I love about the weeping varieties is doing kind of a hanging basket or a raised basket.
Yeah.
I really think that just shows the dramaticness of their habits.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's cool. I mean, they're such a malleable tree too. I mean, a lot of different ways that you can grow this. You can let it just kind of continue to weep on this low. We have these low grafts today. So you can continue to let this weep down and create a ground cover. You can stake these branches up, create a unique form to it. I really like how different each one of these look. You know, it's kind of cool to be able to kind of improvise and manipulate each one to create a unique shape in the garden, especially with that crazy yellow color. And then it lights up some really nice oranges and reds in the fall too. So, I mean, a well-rounded tree, great form, great spring color, lots of interest with this. I think it's a cool one to grow in a container too. I actually have one of these in a container up on my porch, and I have it up on a pot stand. So it's in a nice stand, so it's elevated and it weeps and cascades down over the side of it. Looks absolutely beautiful. Great container plant. Pick you guys up a yellow Cascade. All right, guys, I'm always excited to talk about this next plant. I'm gonna let my homie introduce this one. What do we got on the table?
Guys, you know it, you love it, you want it, you need it, bro. We got Acer oliveranum hot blonde, man.
I mean, I think all of us need a hot blonde in our life, whether that be your wife, your friend, your girlfriend, doesn't really matter. Everybody needs a good hot blonde in their life, especially out in the garden. This thing is one of my favorite trees. This is a Matt and Tim introduction here at MrMaple, and they do it right, man. This is one of the best heat-tolerant yellows that you can get out there in that garden. We've been talking a lot about some yellows today. And we're always kind of talking about, you might want to protect this one from the hot afternoon sun, right? Not with the hot blonde. You can put this out in the heat, give it some fire, give it some hell. This thing will light up. Beautiful, beautiful golden yellows in the spring with a little bit of light blushing on that. Absolutely a vigorous tree. I love hot blonde.
Yeah, this is a great plant for people to start growing Japanese maples with. This is like one set it and forget it. And in a couple of years, man, it'll be about 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. These are super fast growing trees. I like the vase shape a lot. You know, this isn't going to give you necessarily your typical tree until it's really mature. It kind of grows up in this beautiful vase shape with a lot of branching going on. And man, I just love kind of the imagery it kind of evokes during that fall time of just like a flame out there in the garden. It's going to look great next to that golden globe, man. Because guess what? You put that yellow on that yellow, with the yellow fall, with the yellow with the red fall. I mean, man, does it get much better than that?
Oh, it doesn't, man. I mean, we're getting tongue-tied up here. We're talking about yellow so much. But yeah, you're right, man. The electric fall colors on this, some of the brightest cherry reds, rivals that of like Osakazuki. And I know that says a lot. For those of you who are familiar with that cultivar, definitely one, I think, in the fall color, really hits high on that note. I have two of them in my garden. I mean, that's how much I love it. I've got one on one side of the garden and one on the other because I was like, man, if I'm over here, I keep thinking, I want to be seeing that hot blonde, so I planted another one nearby. Anyway, great tree, one of my favorites, an amazing Mr. Maple introduction. You guys definitely need to add a hot blonde to your garden.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got an awesome weeping Japanese maple from Japan. That's kind of, you know, like obvious that it's from Japan, but this one like was cultivated in Japan. Right. We got Acer palmatum Rikuzen Shidare.
Yeah, I absolutely love this cultivar, guys. This is one that I have in my collection, and I'll just start with that because it gets me excited every time I think about it, because this one kind of like takes you into the world of Ryusen again, like we had with the yellow Cascade, but this one starts to break the rules even more. It gives you a large style leaf on that weeping style, which is kind of a different new attribute that we can kind of start exploring into. And it also is a green weeping style, Ryusen style, that goes yellow in the fall. So that's kind of those two big crucial points here that distinguishes this away from a lot of the other cultivars of similar style.
Yeah, what's cool about this one too is that they believe it to be in a different genetic lineage than that Nakakomoto weeping, Jiro Shidare, Ryusen, right. You know, all that. It's completely different genetics. So it was a genetic mutation that occurred in another plant. The original plant was located at a temple in Japan. And then 2011, you know, they had the large tsunami come through and take out the original tree. But one of the first things my friend Brian told me whenever I started here is cultivation is conservation, man.
Yeah.
And a nurseryman that I was lucky to meet this spring, Yutaka Tanaka, had taken cuttings off of the tree without permission, but he was able to refill the spot with a large size Rikuzen Shidare. And that just kind of shows the beauty of, you know, what we do here.
Yeah.
As it's, you know, everybody likes to garden, but there is kind of this conservationary part of it. You know, some of these trees that exist in the trade would have never had a chance to survive in nature. And yeah, I think the collector mentality is it plays into it. Yes, it plays into it. But it's also cool that we get to, you know, save a little piece of history, save a genetic clone of a tree that could have been around, you know, in the 1700s or earlier,
right,
all the way down to today, man. Rikuzen Shidare, a very cool maple.
Yeah, I mean, it is awesome to think about how we all play a part in that conserving these cultivars. And I love that aspect about being a collector. I've been a collector for a long time, but a lot of these cultivars, some of the history behind them, some of the stories behind it, some of the origin stories, and even like this, you know, how this was lost and they were like, oh man, I can't believe this is gone. But then it was able to bring this back and return it to its glory again there in Japan. Really cool story behind this one. I love how this one kind of plays into so many different categories of those weeping styles like we talked about. Big leaf, yellow fall color, great story, great plant, Rikuzen Shidare. All right, guys, next up here, we got a great cultivar, man. I love this one. We got Acer palmatum Tsukushigata.
Yeah, man, this one is reminiscent of a lot of trees that I enjoy. I love kind of that brick, dark red.
Yeah.
You know, that Kurenai Jishi, the Hajime Sanago. And guys, yes, Tsukushigata is right in there with them. I love the fat leaves on this one too, man. Like, it's got some really kind of enlarged lobes, man. Yeah. They kind of feed into each other, giving it kind of a star-shaped looking leaf. Super beautiful.
Yeah, really nice texture on the leaves on this one for sure. And that crazy color. Like, this is one that I grew in Oklahoma, and I had it kind of in a shady location just because that was kind of the only available spot I had at the time. But what I liked about it being in a little bit more shade was that you had like these kind of chocolate tones that would start to appear, and these like dark browns and like mahogany tones that this would get with like this dark hunter green underlayer to that leaf. So it really plays into like this multicolor effect to it. And then, you know, also it really kind of helps even with that fall color because it's going to be a little bit protected. So those leaves look a little better going into fall. You get some bright yellows, fiery orange colors on this in the fall, which I think is cool because you have a red going to more of those yellows and oranges. then most reds are going to go more to a crimson red in the fall. So nice contrast there.
Yeah, man, this 10, man, it's like that one Coldplay song, man. It was all yellow.
It was all yellow, man. Yeah, we've done a lot of yellow today. Great yellow fall colors, great yellow spring colors. Definitely sitting here thinking, I mean, this would be a great pairing with a lot of the other plants that we've been talking about today. Now, this is a vigorous grower, though. This one's going to get out there. You can expect over a foot of growth a year on this. Really nice form, too. Some nice green bark, too, when at a young age. So a nice contrast when this leaf's out with the dark burgundy leaves.
Yeah, man, and I love that kind of play with that green veining, too. Like you were talking about earlier, where you kind of get those chocolatey colors. I love when that kind of green vein emerges on the tree on that dark background. Yeah. Looks so beautiful. Great sizes on these 2 gallons. Really great shape. Gonna be getting pretty lucky if you get one of these. This is a really nice tree.
Yeah, definitely a cool one to get picked up, because this one leaves out in the spring. You're gonna enjoy that. All right, guys, we got another great tree lined up for you here. We got Acer palmatum Allen's Gold.
Oh yeah, man, this one. Put this on my neck, bro. That's how gold it is, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? Allen's Gold, an amazing Japanese maple. A lot of people were looking for this one, and guess what? This year, we're bringing it back in big numbers, man. It's been, you know, on the 10 and 10 a lot. And hey, I think there's a big demand for this one.
Yeah.
Beautiful pine bark, spring interest maple with great fall color, man.
Yeah, I mean, this one checks a lot of the boxes. Like you said, you get a spring interest with the pine bark, which is pretty unusual. Beautiful, bold oranges, and it comes out in the spring. I mean, I'm talking like just, I mean, they look illuminated. You can check out some of those pictures, especially when you get this out in as much sun as it can handle. It really picks up that color. You kind of want to play with it a little bit, protect it from the hot afternoon sun, but you want to press it out there into the sun as much as you can just to kind of pick up the colors. But really, really exciting tree. It takes a little bit longer than some of the other pine barks to get going, but really cool pine bark as well.
Yeah, this is one I always enjoy seeing during the springtime and the fall time. And it always looks nice as that pine bark throughout the 4 seasons. This is one you're not going to want to miss out on, y'all.
Acer palmatum Allen's Gold.
Guys. Last but not least. We got Acer palmatum Asayake.
This is a really cool weeping style Japanese maple, that lace leaf. Now, what I find interesting about this one is it has a really finely dissected leaf, very serrated on the edges, so it gives it kind of a really ruffled kind of texture to it. The leaf on it is really nice too. It gets this really bright yellowish green, more than like the chartreuse green. It kind of has this yellow blend to it. Also has a nice little purple border in the spring, early on in that spring leaf out. So a really interesting kind of that green lace leaf, but gives you a few extra attributes that I think are cool.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be one that's a little faster growing of a lace leaf. Not as slow growing as some of the other varieties we talked about today. You know, 6 to 8 feet in height by about 5 to 7 foot in width.
Yeah.
That's pretty good size. And man, you're going to want this tree as big as you can get, especially during the fall time, man.
Yeah.
And this thing goes into those beautiful oranges to red fall colors. It lights up, man. And one thing I love about the lace leaves is just how the sun kind of shines through them, kind of illuminating different branches. And sometimes seeing that structure, kind of, you know, the shadow of the structure through the leaves of the tree, it don't get much better than that, y'all.
Yeah, it really is cool. I love the lace leaves. That weeping style just creates such a unique shape in the garden. Each one of them is kind of different. And this is going to be another great example of that classic green lace leaf out there with some bold fall colors and great spring interest. Really cool lineup of trees today. We've had a lot of yellow interest stuff going on today. So if you're needing some yellow in your garden, and we all need more yellow in our garden, today's lineup is definitely for you and for me, and probably Corbin. We might pick up a few things too. You never know. Matt always says, if I haven't sold a tree to Brian today in this video, I ain't doing it right. So I might have to pick up something today.
Yeah, man, I just had to hit the yellow dance right there real quick, man, because today it's all yellow. Guys, thanks so much for watching.
Yeah.
Make sure to like, subscribe, share this with your gardening friends. But you know what helps us out the most? Going and checking out these awesome trees on MrMaple.com. You're not going to want to miss it. These trees will go quick, so don't miss it. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when these trees are dropping.
Yeah, definitely go and check out the website. We've got a ton of stuff listed online right now. Great prices, great deals. Check that out. I know this time of the year, you know, the gardens are kind of a little bit quiet. You know, we're all cold. We don't walk our gardens as much, but it is a great time of the year to start adding some plants and getting some things in the ground. And so that way you come spring, you can just kind of sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Take care.
God bless.
Have a great day.